Welcome in, everybody. It is the kickoff for week number 8. Week number 8, man. This season has flown by, and I can't even keep up with all this good stuff's going on. But hey, you gotta love it, gotta love it. Let's check in with our friends that are going to be joining us tonight. Coming back in, we got Sanudo joining us from, it's now Joy S, but it's Justin Sanudo, or Jay Sanudo, out in the mix, or as he likes to be known, the grand poobah wizard of everything that happens with the guys over at D&T, which he is. He literally is. Ken's going to be here tonight. Ken's got some guys. He's doing a lot of good stuff over on multiple social media. He's been here many times. Big Green Bay Packer fan. His pack is playing really well. Joining us tonight, Zippity Doo Doug is going to be in the house, and I'm excited to talk with Doug about his Steelers and everything else. And I'll just throw it out there. Carney was supposed to be here, but unfortunately will not, due to a miscommunication of Pete Carney's a good guy that does not read his text. He will not be in-house tonight. He actually thought the show was tomorrow. So our team can be found all over on the front of my YouTube page. You click on the NFL show, and there you can find everybody that's associated with this show all the way through. Click right to their links and go to their channels. With that said, let's bring in our broadcasting team. Oh, look, Carney's going to sound the best he's ever sounded tonight here. Well, welcome in, Ken. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Pete, I'm doing well. It's October, so we got through the annual Brewers disappointment, and it's all football now. So
there you go. Good. And I'm loving all the green behind you and everything. Doug did that too. He's a big Browns fan. He's got the Brown thing there. Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Pete. First time this season. I can't wait to talk football with you guys. I always love to.
I love it when you come on. And Douglas, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
They're fantastic. I love it. Let me say a quick hello here to those in the chat, and then we'll really get this thing going and start picking them. O'Connell, hello. Jason Uno and Doug are both in here. Good to see you. RJ, hello. LOL, Jax, him, trio. What's up? Welcome in. The Curtis family, Chris, hello. Daniel Barry, hello. Rob, Mr. Disney AMUK, hello. Goofy Guy's in here with us. I love the Goofy Guy. Alex Miller, hello. Candy, hello. Welcome in. Casey's Corner of the World. Joy is in chat. Hello, Joy. Joy's in charge. Don't wait. If you need to clean, you clean later. Use your cleaning towels later. Joy is in charge of my Discord and does a great job with it, keeping everything up to date over there. Thank you, Joy, for all of that. And Movie Mania Nick is in house because his Jets lost, but he's so happy about the Yankees, he doesn't care right now. So let's get into picking and have some fun. The Thursday night game, guys, is not that great. Really not that great at all. I'm surprised. I thought they would move things around because Rams have been struggling. Minnesota's been good. Probably should be a blowout. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Let's start with Sanudo. What do you think? Minnesota on the road at Los Angeles, -3, total of 48.
Yeah, the Vikings took a bad loss last week. They really were up until the last couple minutes. It was a great game, but in the end, they ended up losing. The Rams, they remind me of the Rams of the 80s. That's kind of how they've been playing lately. 48 points, I take the over because I think the Vikings are really going to put a whooping on them. I'll give you the 3 points. Give me the Vikings.
Taking the Vikings. I really like the over in this one tonight. Everybody, if you're watching for the first time, hey, Corruption, CGH, hello, buddy. Good to see you back. Thank you for 16 months of support. If you're watching, you'll notice if they're taking the top game, the logo will be at the top. If they're taking the bottom team, their logo will be at the bottom of their screen throughout the show. Ken, what are you thinking tonight? I'm liking the over in this one. Definitely not sure about totals.
Yeah, I like the over also. Look, teams struggle going across time zones, going all the way out west, right? Teams historically struggle.
Yeah.
However, that being said, the Vikings are a good team coming out of what's probably the most competitive division of football this year. Go NFC North. So I'm taking the Vikings here also.
Taking the Vikings there also, going on the ride. All right, Douglas, what do you think on this one?
I actually think the Vikings are one of the top teams in the NFC.
Okay.
They look pretty tough. Yeah, they had a tough game against Detroit, but it was still competitive.
True.
And I think they're going to win more than 3, so I'm going with the Vikings.
Doug's on the Vikings. I can't argue with anything what you guys said. The Vikings, as much as I get frustrated with them, they are a top team there. Let me take that I had all my widgets up earlier. I'm going to say Vikings also. I think I think they're just better than the Rams in that the key positions, Rams losing some of their top receivers has hurt them. All you really got is Cup out there now, and you can pretty much double him. Tight ends is not a solid position for them. Running game's about average. So even on the road, I'll take them. Mr. Thibodeau, welcome into the show. All right, Ken, we'll talk with you about this one here. Let's take a look at Arizona, who had a good game the other day, playing Miami, who we might get Tua back. There's possibilities of Tua's return. I like the under in this game. I don't think it's a high-scoring game in the 90-degree Miami heat. That could be me, but I could be wrong. Miami is a 3-point favorite, basically making it a flat game. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the under. And I worry about Tua, right? I realize I didn't finish my thought right there. I like the under. I worry about Tua because the guy's had too many head injuries. I like him. He's a great quarterback, good quarterback, but I just worry about him. Anyway, that being said, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, with this spread at Miami, I'll take Miami in this one.
Miami for Ken. Okay. Douglas, what do you got?
That's a hard one. Because sometimes the Cardinals play good, sometimes they just don't even show up. So you really never know what kind of team you're going to get.
True.
I don't know. Something's telling me Cardinals. I'm going to take Cardinals and the points.
Cardinals and the points for Doug. Interesting. Okay. Sanudo, you're up. What do you think?
Yeah, I too like the under on this. I think both teams are going to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible, and they both have pretty strong defenses. I too kind of like Arizona in this because I think this is going to be a close game, and if it's going to be a close game, give me the points.
Okay, I like it. I've gone back and forth on this whole thing, and I think the Cardinals are on the precipice of taking off. Miami's on the precipice of trying not to explode. There's T. Marie's Place. Hello, T. Marie's Place. She's got a lot of fans out here. Good to see you. I think the Cardinals are on their way up. This one scares me, though. From a gambling side, it looks too easy. I worry about those games with, being a fixed thing and everybody jumps on the Cardinals. You think about teasing that and getting the Cardinals +9, then it looks really good. I'm going to take Miami to surprise everybody. I think it's a fix. So I'm going to play the bet line. I'm going to go down to Miami and take that one there. All right. Jets and the Patriots. Sorry. Jets, man, I tell you what, the other night they just looked horrendous. I think it's more of the quarterback than everybody thought it was. Everybody thought it was the head coach of the scheming. I think he showed last week that with his throwing ability and all right now, he's not the Rodgers he was a couple years ago. With that being said, I think they win. I don't know. Do they cover 7? 7's a lot. New England has not. They've had some games this year where they've come in really good, and they had some games like last week when they played. Was it Jacksonville? I think out in the UK, and they got blown off the field. So this is a tough call. Total's 41.5. I think it's sitting midline. I think it's one of those where it could teeter-totter anywhere between 39.5 to 42. So I think they got it laid out right. We'll see. Doug, what are you thinking on this one?
I would go with the under on that. I don't think it's going to be high scoring at all. Couple things about the Jets. I mean, you have to really look. I mean, yeah, the Jets didn't play well, but is it that they didn't play well, or is it that the Steelers defense is very good? The Patriots
Steelers defense is good. Let's first say that. Steelers defense is very good.
I mean, the Patriots defense is nowhere near the caliber of the Steelers. So I think the Jets cover. I'm going with the Jets.
Going with the Jets. Benny and the Jets for Doug, going with the visiting team. Justin, what do you got?
You talk about hot and cold teams. That's kind of the Jets right there, right? I feel like they play to their competition. The Patriots have a really strong defense if you've actually watched them, and now they got Mayo in as quarterback. They have, a lot of things that are pointing up while the Jets have a lot of things pointing down. With that being said, I still think the Jets are a better team. 7 points is a lot, but I'll take the Jets.
Taking the Jets. Okay. Ken, what are you thinking?
Well, one thing you said Aaron Rodgers is not the Rodgers of 2, 3, 4 years ago, and that's absolutely true. But Devontae Adams is there. Devontae Adams had a bad game. He hadn't been there long. He hasn't had time to really read the playbook. Him and Rodgers haven't played together in a while. I don't think Devontae Adams has a bad game in the second week that he's there. I think he comes out and he plays much better. And so I think because of that, I'm taking the Jets and the points here. The Jets cover.
Jets cover. Okay. I tell you what, I struggle with this one just because the frustrating part for me was the fact that Rodgers, where he was passing some of these passes, that was my issue. Okay. If you look at one of those interceptions, he literally threw it behind him. They made it out like the Steelers defensive back made this historic catch that wasn't a fact. He just was in good position and made a quality play. But Rodgers threw it behind him. That's what I worry about. 7 points. 7 points in New England. I tell you what, I'm going to go lone wolf on this one. I'm going to say New England keeps it close. I think the Jets win. But I think that you might see I haven't bet the Patriots. I think the last time I bet the Patriots, Nixon was in office. But I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with them this time. See if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. We'll see. It'll probably cost me to lose money this week. All right, back up top to the top here. Justin will start this one off. This one has the potential to be a really, really good game here. New England, set aside what they've done against some of these teams and got blown out. Cincinnati has been a New England-esque type of team. Thailand's chief asset, what's up? He says take the money line and the Jets. Patriots plus the 7 and 41 under in a triple threat. That's interesting. Mandy Mary, hello, welcome in. This will be the curious thing for me on this one. The Bengals have been like the Patriots this year. They've come out a couple of them and they looked incredibly good. They've come up in a couple of them and look like, God, how are they even on the field? So I don't know which Cincinnati teams it is. I will say that they're healthy. Burrow's healthy now. The wide receivers are healthy. He seems to be a good pick there. Eagles, same thing. They've started to get healthy. Can they give protection to their quarterback? I don't know. Line is Cincinnati basically flat at home at -2.5 and a total of 47.5. This game, I think, does go over for me. We'll see. Justin, what are you looking at with this one?
One thing, I agree with everything you said. The one thing you didn't bring up, and maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth on this one, but the Eagles' defense has looked really good the last couple of weeks. They're getting after the quarterback. They look like the defense that was at the beginning of last year until they folded. I'll take the under in this one because I think the Eagles' defense is going to smother the Bengals. And,
really? Okay.
I do. Give me 2.5 points, and I'm taking the Eagles every time.
Taking the Eagles and the points going up top. Welcome into our good friend, Cakes212. Hello, he says, Uday, we are hitting our stride. What's up, Pat? How you doing, buddy? Boom, up top with the Eagles. Okay, Ken, what are you thinking when you look at this?
I mean, you definitely didn't put your foot in your mouth because I was going to say the exact same thing. The Eagles' defense has played well. Their offense has been better since A.J. Brown came back. Everybody's getting healthy. I've streamed the Eagles' defense in fantasy a few times, and every time that I have, they've gotten 35-plus points in fantasy. I know that doesn't matter for this, but they're a good defense. They're both doing better than they started. It's a tough one. I'm not betting this game, but I am taking the Eagles.
Taking the Eagles as well. Okay, Ken's on the Eagles. Let's go up here. Zippity-doo dog. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I agree with both of these guys. Their defense, the Eagles' defense, is looking like they're gaining momentum every week, and you can see their confidence going up. Also, is there anybody that can stop Barkley?
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, he is just running, and he's another one. He's improving every week. It's hard to switch teams because, especially a running back, because you're going to get behind new linemen, and it's an adjustment, for that running back to be able to read the line, like you did on your old team. So right. I think he's finally catching on to that. So I'm going to take the Eagles.
Taking the Eagles. All right, let me get you up on there on the Eagles. Doug's got that. So I just want to check something real quick. So the Bengals are 3-4 right now. Obviously, they're in third place in their division. NFC Commanders are 5-2. Eagles are 4-2. Commanders haven't. I think the Commanders. I forget who they play. We'll touch that in a little bit. Oh, Ryan Rowe. Hello. Doug's the real Pennsylvania team, the Eagles. He threw that out there on you. Good old Ryan.
No,
God.
Ryan.
So here's what I'll say. I'm going to go with everybody else here and say everything says the Eagles, the running back situation, all that. What I am going to say is, again, it scares me with the NFL that there seems to be these weeks that are the weeks that throw everybody, where stuff happens that shouldn't. This is another one where it looks like if you're playing the game, hello, Dawn, welcome in. If you're playing the game at a house that lets you tease and you add 6 onto the Eagles and you're talking about getting 8.5, it seems like 8.5 with the Eagles and 8.5 with the Arizona Cardinals. That seems like a 2-team teaser, that should be okay, pretty interesting if you pay out the points. So, but I just say this is leery. I hope it's a really good game. Could be the game of the week. If both teams come to play, it could be the potential game of the week. I'm going to stick with everybody else. I'll take the Eagles in the points, even on the road in Cincinnati. And a game that could be interesting or could be absolutely ridiculous. I don't know which Jacksonville team is going to show up because I never know, seems lately with Jacksonville and the Jaguars. The Green Bay Packers, who have been playing very well. I think Green Bay is in love with love. I got to be honest there. Green Bay goes into Jacksonville minus 4.5. Total over under a 49.5. 50 points laying it down the line. You're already saying there's going to be 7 touchdowns in this game. That's pretty impressive. Ken, it's your one to start, and it just happens to be your team as well.
I'll take it. We do love Jordan Love up here. Do you remember I made the prediction last year on this show that I created the hashtag I believe in love, we believe in love, whichever one it was.
Yep, I do remember that.
We do. He is starting every week. Now, he's not even close yet, so don't take it wrong, but he's starting to show flashes of the greatness of quarterbacks that Green Bay always brings in. Some of the throws he's making, that pass to I think it was tight end. Anyway, that pass he made, I'm drawing a blank on who he threw it to, but one of the touchdowns he threw this past week was
the one where he went sideways, basically.
Went sideways through a defender. That's a Brett Favre throw, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, the Jaguars, I think their defense, I don't think they're going to stop us. So absolutely taking the Packers here. Call me a homer, I don't care.
I had a feeling he might on that one. So, Doug, what are you thinking on this one? Pack or the Cats?
I'll tell you what, one thing I looked at and I was shocked, and nobody's talking about this, is Green Bay's defense is ranked like in the top 5 this year. And it's weird because nobody's really talking about them as a defense. But they're solid. I like Love. I think he's a great young quarterback. Jacksonville is just, you said it, Pete. You don't know what team you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
They could show up and beat the Patriots by 30 points, and the next week they show up and lose by 30 to Green Bay. So I'm going to take Green Bay.
Doug is on Green Bay. Interesting. Justin, what do you think?
I'm with Road Warrior. Sorry.
You're with the Road Warrior. Justin, what do you think? Are they eating the cats and dogs in Jaguars down there? Green Bay.
I may be a little bit more trepidatious if Jaguars were getting something like 7 or 10. How are they only getting 4.5? I mean, I feel like the Packers blow them away. I don't think we're going to get an over on the 49.5 simply for the fact that I don't think the Jaguars score more than 7. So give me the Packers.
I think you guys are right. I think the Jaguars will put up about 14 or 16 myself, but I think the Packers beat them. I don't think it goes over either. I think 7 touchdowns in a game like this is kind of high. You still got that Florida Heat still to deal with, so we'll see. Well, it is a Pats. Zippity-doo Doug, according to Nick. He just wanted to let you know there. So okay, I'm gonna agree, and I'm gonna go. I gotta go Green Bay right now. They're just playing too well on here. I think that they might pull it out here. I think next time I need to move this over to here. So that's
I would feel it. I would feel it would be a trap if Jacksonville was getting 7 or even 10 or.
Yeah,
but only getting 4.5. That just something seems off. I don't know what it is, but.
Well, I think maybe it's skewed because, they had that blowout of New England over in the UK, but I picked that. I knew that was going to happen. Jaguars, They will not get swept in Europe. For some reason, they win over there. I haven't figured out why. And also, they stayed there for the whole week. There was no traveling, where the other team had to. So I think it might be skewed just because of that big blowout of the Patriots. And let's be honest, I mean, people have blown out the Patriots all year long. So, all right, let's see where we're at. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Doug, it's your turn to start this one up. Atlanta, who's been up and down this year, is playing a very hurt Tampa Bay team, as we talked about in the preface of the show here, with the way they've been struggling. What do you think? Atlanta goes into Tampa Bay now because of the injuries. Atlanta goes into Tampa Bay -2.5, total at 45.5. I still think if Tampa Bay's defense shows up at all, this game goes under. Could be me. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Man, this is hard because you don't know who they're going to sign this week, Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if they're going to go out and get, I had mentioned to you guys earlier about Antonio Brown. You just don't know. It's hard to call this. And it's, man, if you wouldn't have lost them 2 receivers, they would not be 2.5-point underdogs.
No, absolutely not.
And that's what's making it so hard. But also, I think it was Justin that brought up the tight end. Or was it Ken?
We all like tight ends.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we all like tight ends. But I don't know.
While you're thinking about that, welcome into Ghost Host. Good to see you, sir, coming in. Thank you. And Thailand's chief assistant says that should be the Falcons' official logo. He likes that logo.
I don't know. And Tampa Bay's defense didn't look that great the other night either.
No.
So I think I'm going to go with the Falcons on this.
Okay. Doug's going to go with the Falcons. Let me get that up over here, which is your top team. All right, Mr. Sanudo, what about you?
At the beginning of the season, everybody's talking about Atlanta running away with the division, or at least, being for that division. Nothing's changed when it comes to players on the field. It's just they haven't produced. And Tampa Bay, yeah, they just lost their 2 biggest wide receivers, but next man up, right? I think they're a better team all around, even with those injuries. Somehow, I just got a feeling that somehow Tampa Bay pulls that out just because they got their backs against the wall. So give me Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at home for Mr. Sanudo. Ken, I got to be honest. First off, welcome into Dapper Vanta Crew. Thank you for joining. Thailand's chief asset said, hey, I think that should be the logo all the time. The problem is every time that logo comes up. Hello, ladies. So I'm not sure they're going to use that logo. We'll see. What do you think on this one?
So, yeah, I think Tampa Bay played so well last night, especially in the last 5 minutes, right? I mean, they didn't do enough to come back and win, but they showed some fight. Obviously, Godwin got hurt in the end, so, I mean, he was there. But that tight end, Otten, first of all, he's got to be sore as heck today. I mean, that guy took so many hits, so many big catches. But I think he steps up big, and again, next man up. I think Baker Mayfield – I don't think Kirk Cousins wins this one on the road, so I'm taking the Buccaneers also.
Going to take the Bucs at home. You don't think they go back-to-back losses? Bucs are one of my teams that I really like here. Kirk Cousins has been playing out of his mind recently. Now, here's something. Buddy Hepburn just threw this out there that being reported the Rams are looking to trade Cooper Kupp. Where he ends up could be interesting. Where he ends up could be Tampa Bay right now with them losing, usually and struggling. And I could see that happening going from one coast to the other. Cooper Kupp over here. All of a sudden, Cooper Kupp's on his team. Tampa Bay's probably pick 'em or maybe -1 on this. So I don't know. God, I don't want to be a homer. I want to be a homer, but I can't. I'm going against being a homer. I'm going to go up top, and I'm going to say I'm going to take Atlanta. Take Atlanta to pull this out. If you're brand new to us tonight, my friends are Jason Udo of Joy S's channel, or Escapades of PJJ formerly. I need to get the new Joy S logo up there. I just realized that. I'm going to do that joy after the show and load that in. Ken, I just got Ken's logo in. It took me a little bit with Ken, but I got Ken's Wisconsin's new logo in. We're dropping links for all of these people through the chat all night. And Doug of Zippity Doo Doug, and I just got his new logo in. I need to get all new logos in for everybody. So hit those up and give us a follow. And if you're brand new to this channel, give me a follow as well. I would really appreciate it. God, I'm glad Molly's not here for what I'm about to say. So Ravens go on the road minus Ryan Rosen here. Ryan will probably give me hell. Ravens go on the road. They are minus 9.5 going out there to Cleveland here, 44.5. These games are always close or closer than most expect. I do not believe that this is going to change. It's also lower scoring. For some odd reason, the defenses and all step up when these two come to play. So this should be interesting. Justin, I think it's your turn to start on this one. Ravens minus 9.5. Do they cover 10 against the Browns?
This game says trap all over it, doesn't it? It's a division game. They're at home. They just lost their quarterback. The Browns got nothing but, they're just playing for each game. They got nothing else in their season.
They did pick up Zappy. You know that. I don't know if you know that. They signed Zappy, so.
Yeah, that's not going to do much either. But with that being said, I still can't see the Browns even getting close in this game. I know maybe some other people, Pete, maybe you disagree, but I feel like the Ravens are playing on a different level. There's top tier teams in the NFL. The top 5 teams, and the Ravens are in there. And the Browns, I don't know. I think University of Georgia could beat the Browns this week. I don't know, but I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Go with the Ravens. Ken, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens are playing lights out. Lamar Jackson's playing great. Derrick Henry is single-handedly winning my fantasy football season. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, the Browns are dealing with some changes, some injuries, whatever. Interesting, the Ravens are 0-2 when they're favored by more than 7 points.
Yes, they are.
But I think they change that this week. They'll absolutely win by at least 10, so I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay, Ken's on the Ravens. Doug?
Do I have to pick this one or can I pass?
Nope, you have to pick this one.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, with the quarterback situation in Cleveland, it's just it doesn't look good. I know Chubb's back, but you can't give him the workload that he had 2 years ago right now. You just can't. You don't want him re-injuring that because he's just overworked. Sorry, Molly. I think Baltimore blows them out.
Okay. Doug on Baltimore. You'll pay for that on the morning show tomorrow.
I'm sure I will.
Here's what I'll say. I said at the beginning of the year, and I don't believe I was wrong, that Cleveland had the potential to be one of the best teams in the league. Then they had injuries. Losing Chubb not having Chubb was a killer. Then they couldn't get any. I think their biggest thing is continuity. They had a great receiver who goes to where'd he go, to Dallas, wherever the heck he went. Where'd they send him to? And he gets a touchdown first drive. I think the injuries, and on top of, they just couldn't get continuity this year. And I think that starts with the fact that their quarterback is being paid the moon and back, guaranteed. I think that they're regretting that a lot in Cleveland, not just the fans, but I think some of the parts of the ownership and all that stuff are starting to regret what they've invested into that quarterback. So I think this week, the Ravens, I agree with Sanudo on this one. The Ravens are playing right now at another level. And I think it'll come down to one simple thing. You're talking about Lamar versus Zappy. And if I got to go with those two, I got to say Lamar, a 2-time MVP on pace for a third, would definitely have to be better than Zappy. So I'll take the Ravens here. I'd have liked to have seen this game with both teams having all their faculties and seeing how it would be. I think it would be interesting. I think it'd be a lot closer than people think. And I don't think that line would be 10 points. So, all right, let's go down to this one. Ken can start us up on this one. Indianapolis Colts, another team. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I can never figure out what side of the pond they're on. They are a 5.5-point underdog, and they should be going to Houston, who has been one of the top teams this year. They had a rough one last week. They got beat up. Houston minus 5.5 at home. Money line at 260. Money line at 260. 46.5 is the total. Think this one could go over. Houston could put 40 points up themselves almost, and they've done it a couple times. Ken, start us out. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this one's tough because they've already played this year, and the Texans only won by 2 points. And yeah, they had a bad week last week, but I'm gonna just take the homer answer there and say it's because we're just better. But anyway, I definitely think the Texans are the better team here. I think C.J. Stroud comes out and plays lights out after last week. I just don't know about those. I don't know about the over-under. Or I'm sorry, I don't know about the points.
It's an odd number at 5.5.
Yeah, this one's tough. But I'm going to take the Texans in this one. Yeah.
Going with the Texans. Line it up. Tina said she's going to ride the Texans or the Cowboy or somebody. She's on the Texans. She's riding the Texans. Doug, are you riding the Texans? Or are you all over Houston and C.J. Stroud?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the Texans I still think they're one of the best teams in the AFC. I think they got a great defense. The offense clicks. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Texans on this one. Because, like you said, 1 week the Colts play well, move the ball, and the next week, they can't even find what side of the field they're on.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Mr. Sanudo, you going to make it a clean sweep across the board on Houston this one?
I think Houston's a better team. It comes down to me, kind of what Doug was saying, but just getting a little bit closer on it is which Richardson's going to show up. If he shows up and he plays the entire game, he doesn't get hurt. He plays the entire game. I think the Colts keep it close. Again, I like Houston to win, but I like the Colts with the points, so I'll take the Colts.
You'll take the Colts. Okay. This one, what they're building in Houston is amazing. The Colts are trying to build that, and they're struggling big time to get to that point. Closer game last time by 2. I think everybody's going to say, well, they only lost by 2 the last game. I'll take the 5.5 points. I'm going to go the other route. I'm going to say Houston wins this one by a touchdown at home. I think Richardson is up and down. Like Justin said, it's a great point. If I have to pick the 2, I think Stroud's more consistent right now. Overall, at all of the top line specialty positions, I'd have to give a slight advantage to Houston, I think. I really would, especially now that they've got their running back healthy. That's a big factor for them. So we'll see how that goes. All right. In a game that could be really ugly, blowout here, I think blowout potential. I hate to say it. The Tennessee Titans are traveling to Detroit to play the Lions, who just made a big game last week against Minnesota and beat them. And now they're coming back this way to see what they can do. Tennessee is a 10.5-point underdog. Things just are very confusing in the land of the Titan right now. 45.5 is the total. The Lions could score that themselves. They've been scoring a lot of points this year. I think this is, Doug, yours to start.
Why do you always give me the fun ones first? Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's going to be close. I think Detroit's just going to manhandle them. I think it's going to be way more than 10.5. So I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them by 20 or more.
Okay. Cake says Detroit all day like Doug. Road Warrior says the Lions. Movie Mania Nick says he's going to watch this game naked. Sanudo, what are you thinking?
I'm not thinking about that. That's for sure. Pete, are you going to be playing quarterback this week for the Titans?
Yes, with my left hand.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. And Doug's going to be playing right tackle because they don't have either one. I will say, a lot of talk about replacing the coaching in Tennessee. I don't see the coaching being the problem. They just don't have playmakers. It seems like the schemes are all right. They just can't execute, and that's the biggest thing. Of course, we always talked about Detroit and how great they look. I will tell you, I looked at some numbers. with Hutchinson out, the pass rushing last week did not look good.
Yeah, key for that. You're right.
I think they got eight pressures the entire game, and Hutchinson had 15 the last time he played. So it's really hurting the Lions. With that being said, 10.5 points is a lot in the NFL. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Titans lose by 9. How's that?
Oh, my God. Taking the Titans and the points. Okay. Love it. Ken, what do you got?
Again, I mean, the Lions, NFC North, I think we can't argue the fact that I don't think we can argue the fact the NFC North is not the toughest division of football this year. The Lions definitely have bigger games coming up, but Dan Campbell's not going to overlook anybody, including the Titans. I think this is a blowout also. I think Detroit easily covers this. So
Detroit at home.
Yeah. Just hope they don't pass rush that well when they play the Packers.
There you go. I think the one difference maker right now is the energy that the coach, Campbell, is given to the Lions is off the chart. You can just see it resonated in the players and the way their belief and the way they're doing. Jamar Gibbs is running like he ripped off somebody's MTV and they're trying to get it back. He's just gone. Gibbs, I wish I would have grafted him, but a couple more teams are on the year. I'm going to stick to Detroit. I'm going to stay at home. Lions are going to pull this one out, and that'll be an interesting one.
Pete, I mean, on that, did you see Dan Campbell's, even the locker room giving out game balls after the game? I mean, that guy fired me up. I was ready to go out here and do something.
I tell you what, I really like that guy. When they hired him, I was like, oh, this guy's a little crazy. And then after I've seen him play a little bit, I'm like, oh, this guy's a little good. I kind of like him. So funny thing is, I laughed because Jerry Jones had the chance to hire him, and Jerry Jones didn't think he'd be all that good. And now look at him. There you go. So, right? Jerry Jones. Kolya, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you. So let's go here. I think it's Justin's turn to start. The Saints, New Orleans Saints, are on the road at the Chargers, and the Chargers are a 7.5-point favorite. I think this is their highest point spread this year because they've been underdog a good bit. 39.5 is the total. They're thinking this is going to be a low-scoring game. Of course, I don't know who's going to quarterback for the Saints here, and do they? I don't know. Oh, God, it's really scary. Justin, start me up on the Saints.
Well, yeah, if you watch that game with the Saints last week and their quarterback, and I can't remember his name, but my goodness, he looked good. And I think that's going to continue again this week. The thing is, the Chargers, if Herbert has to throw 30 passes, they're out of their game plan. You know, the game plan is run the ball. They may be the best coach team in the NFL right now. 7.5 points, though, is a lot for a team that runs. So give me the Saints because of the points, but the Chargers win.
Saints because of the points, but the Chargers win. Going up top there. All right. Thank you to Captain Kirk for subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you. Ken, what do you got?
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I mean, Derek Carr, there's talks that he could be back, but he's not going to play this week. I don't think so. If he was coming back, I think the Saints easily win this game. But I'm giving the same answer here. I think the Chargers win, but not by a touchdown.
Okay.
So
Chargers win, but not by a touchdown. Gotcha. Okay, Doug, what do you got?
See, this is hard because once again, it all depends on if Derek Carr plays. If Carr plays, yeah, it'll be close. If he doesn't play, I think the Chargers run away with it. So, I mean, he's questionable right now, but I don't think the Chargers are going to, do 7.5. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be like a 3-point game. So I'm going to take the Saints.
Taking the Saints. There you go. All right. I'm looking at it and saying, okay, I think the Saints right now are so frustrated with everything going. They're going out and getting a Manning to quarterback for them, but the only problem is they're grabbing Archie because he was so good when he was there, and not the Archie in Texas, the Archie sitting somewhere in Indiana or wherever on a couch watching the game saying, what's my grandkid doing? I'm going to go with the Chargers to cover this one. I agree. I think if Carr's back, it's a different game, but I think traveling across, the Saints defense looked horrible the other day, absolutely atrocious, so we'll see. I think they look tired, in my opinion. All right, here's a good one. Ken talked about this one. The Buffalo Bills traveling across the country could be the only key factor that plays into it is going out to Seattle to the 12th man. Buffalo -3 on the road. Interesting. 47.5. Ken, what do you got?
Yeah, this one is probably the toughest one for me all week. Definitely would not bet on this game. I rarely do I ever pick against the Bills because I love the Bills. When they do play, they play lights out. I don't even know. I mean, this is just this is my Hail Mary. I have no idea. But same thing here. I'm not going to bet against the Bills. So I'll take the Bills here.
On Buffalo. Okay. Doug?
Seattle's a very, very tough place to come in and play at. That stadium is so loud. I've been in that stadium. It is so loud. And you know, with Walker back, you know, they ran the ball really well last week.
Yep.
The defense looks just as good as ever. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Doug taking the Water Chickens. He's on them. Good call. Justin, where are you at?
Walker may be back, but Metcalf is hurt now. And he is their passing game for the most part. Lockett can't work without Metcalf on the outside. He's just too slow now. But another week of Cooper getting on the same page. I think the Bills take this one pretty easily. So give me the Bills.
Bills for Justin. I'm going to agree with you and say the Bills too. I'm going to go on that one. I think I just think right now overall positions and key positions, the advantage goes to Buffalo. And quarterback, I would give the advantage to Buffalo right now. Geno Smith's playing well, but he's not Allen, so I'll go that way too. All right, 5 or 6 more left here. We'll knock them out. The Bears are heading to Washington, and they're not going to be your congressman. They're going to be your football team that's playing down there with all of the people down there. What are you thinking on this one here as we go through it? Ken, is it yours to go, I think, this time?
I think Doug, but I'm okay either way.
Let's go Doug then. I couldn't remember if I went to you or Doug. Let's go to Doug. Doug, start me up. Bears and the Washington, formerly known as Redskins, but can't call them that.
I think the Commanders have been a more stable team, a more consistent team. Sorry, Redskins. I can't call them the Commanders. The Bears are looking good. Swift is finally getting his legs back, running the ball well. But you know, at Washington, I just, you know, I got to go with the Redskins there.
You're going to take the Commanders. I was looking up. I saw that Jaden Daniels was hurt. Week-to-week rib injury is what it says right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor is that he's very much doubtful for this week, according to the Bleacher Report. So does that change your mind all in this game, Doug, if he's not available?
Yes. Yeah, because then I think the Bears will actually cover. It may win by 3 or more.
Okay. Mr. Sanudo, are you on the Bears as well?
You know, if Daniels was playing, I think this would be the best game of the week, at least the most fun to watch, I think.
Yeah.
2 young quarterbacks, 2 teams that have a fan base that really want to see them win now. They think they have chances now. So it's fun to see both of these fan bases be excited about their teams. With that being said, Daniels is hurt. I don't think he's going to play. I think the Bears easily put the Commanders away if Daniels doesn't play. So with that being said, give me the Bears.
Injury plays into it for sure. Ken, your thoughts?
So when I say the NFC North is the division to beat this year, there is, and I'm sorry, Bears fans, there is one fraud in this division, and that's the Bears. Of the 4 teams they've beaten the Titans, they've beaten the Rams, the Jaguars, and the Panthers. Those are their 4 wins for their 4-2 record. I don't think they're going to go into Washington and beat the Commanders. The Commanders are not one of those 4 teams. So definitely taking the Commanders at home.
Commanders at home for Ken.
It just makes me feel good to talk about the Bears, you know.
Well, there you go. I am really up and down on this game right here. Washington's defense has been pretty solid. They played the Ravens really tough. I'm making my play based on no quarterback there, Washington. I'm going to say the Bears myself because of that. So I think if Chase Daniels there or Jaden Daniels is there, then it's not even close. They've been playing on a whole nother level.
I think a healthy Daniels changes it. I think Commanders win easily with a healthy Daniels.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And right now,
Mariota's not that bad though.
Rib injury. Who is it?
Who's their back? Isn't their backup Marcus Mariota?
Marcus Mariota, yeah. Mariota's
he's
juke move against the Panthers helped. So he's not the greatest, but he's not awful. Right. At this point in his career, I would think.
Right.
He's going to get you through. Hello, Monorail Molly. Molly, you missed Doug's picks for the Ravens. Good. Ryan Rowe just threw you under a bus, Doug.
What? Why? That's not nice.
Oh boy! All right, let's go back into this one.
In my defense, hold on, Pete. In my defense, Molly did make the comment. Was it last night or the night before that the Browns will probably not win another game the rest of the year?
That she did.
So.
Yep, that she did. Well, she's there's things she's happy about and things she's not happy about, and at the top of that list is the quarterback there. So there you go. All right, this is the Curtis family's favorite team. They live and bleed these guys. They every time I talk to Chris, he says they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers. They're going into Denver where nobody can breathe because of either two reasons. There's no air because it's a mile high, or there's plenty of smoke because everybody is a mile high. Denver -8.5, 43.5. Mr. Sanudo, start me up.
Denver has played a lot better than I anticipated at the beginning of this season. I thought they were going to be down there with the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers just have nothing going for them. The Broncos, give me the Broncos. But you know what? I'm going to take the under in this because I don't think Panthers score more than 10 points.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a good call out. Okay. Ken, what do you think? Wild horses.
I think the Broncos are the comeback team of the year compared to last year, right? Bo Nix is playing well. Denver's defense is playing well. It's at Denver, and they're playing the Panthers. For me, all of those elements, they easily win this by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Doug, you agree?
Yeah. Listen, the Panthers could not beat our local high school team right now.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I don't know how this franchise has gotten to this point. Considering a couple years ago they were very good. But yeah, I don't see them even coming close in this game. I'm picking Denver.
They let Steve Smith go. I think that's what it is. I'm going to agree with you. I don't think the Panthers are just horrible right now. It's unfortunate for that organization. A lot of good fan base down there in the Carolinas, but they're just not playing well. Denver's a tough place to play on its own thing, and Denver's playing well, coming off a big win in New Orleans for Sean Payton. I don't think there'll be a Denver letdown. Plus, they got Walmart money behind them now. So, I mean, they're going to do all kind of stuff. I think Target's going to go in and buy the Panthers just so they can go up against Walmart. That's what I'm thinking. I'm making that call now. If it happens, I want financial credit. Ken, in the battle of two teams that drive me nuts, here the Raiders are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And I should point out there, Ken, before the three of you make your picks, I received an email from the NFL today that said that no one tonight is allowed to talk negative about the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes. So I just want to make sure I put that out there because it came directly from the NFL. Ken, go ahead, your pick.
Well, I would not want to make the NFL angry. So, look, the Chiefs dominate the Raiders historically over the last several years. And they're the Raiders, and they're the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the only undefeated team. Are they going to finish undefeated? No, because, they're not the Chiefs they were last year, I don't think. But they're also playing the Raiders. So I'm definitely taking the Chiefs in this one. I think that's an easy pick.
Okay. Tina says she likes the Chiefs because she loves to grab a tight end like the Taylor Swift tight end. Doug, are you on Taylor Swift's tight end?
No, not at all. Listen, it's the Chiefs are just rolling right now. And the Raiders, they're up and down. They lost to Carolina. I mean, so you don't know what's going to happen with them. But yeah, I'm going to take Kansas City. They're going to win more than 9.5. I'm going to take I'll take the over on
Taking
that.
the over. You like the over in that one?
I think Kansas City's going to score probably 42 on their own. And I'm going to put the over and under of Taylor Swift sightings at 3.
At 3. Over under Taylor Swift size at 3. I love this. Justin, last year the Raiders upset Kansas City in Kansas City, which was a kind of a crazy thing. Do they do that this year?
One thing we didn't talk about yet is the stash is back. Gardner Minshew is going to be quarterback this game. It's coming back. I feel like he reminds me of like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's that journeyman quarterback that comes in and gives you that incredible win out of nowhere. Yeah. And I really think that's going to happen this time. I feel like with the new quarterback, bringing him back in, the Raiders are going to find a spark. The Chiefs have not really looked that good, especially offensively. And I think there's an upset coming. So give me the Raiders. I think they win.
Interesting. Raiders at home for Sanudo. Ken, where you at?
Oh, I've already gone. Yeah, the Chiefs.
Oh, did I? Okay, I missed that. My fault. I didn't put it in there.
No, it's all good.
That's my fault. I was playing around with that thing. All right, so here's the thing. As much as I want to buy into what Sanudo's saying, I really do, and really would like to see an upset and see Minshew have a good one. They're just rolling right now. I really think it's going to take another strong team that's really at the top of their run to knock them down a leg. So I have to, as much as I hate saying it, I have to take the Chefs because Andy Reid says Chefs on the commercial. So I'm going to go with the Chefs this week right there. In the game that could have been a game of the century if both teams were fully healthy all the way through. However, Dallas can't seem to figure it out. Their quarterback doesn't know if he's playing peewee ball or not. He got paid, and now he can't find a receiver. The running game is atrocious. Their defenders, they've got more defenders hurt than anybody, the Cowboys do. And the other side of the ball, the 49ers have more offensive players down than anybody else in the league all the way around on all their position. They're playing a ton of backups. I don't see this being that great of a game, to be honest with you. I could be wrong. 4.5 is your number with San Francisco. 46.5 is your total. I do like the over in this. I think no defense happens in this one. I think it's one of those offensive wild games with a lot of punt returns and stuff like that. What are you guys thinking? Let's start with Ken. Is it you? Is it Ken or Justin? Justin, go.
I have no idea.
I'll go to Justin.
All right. Earlier I talked about fan bases that were all pointing up. These are two teams with fan bases pointing down. I think they're both these fan bases are not happy with their teams. Some of it is because of play, and other is because of injuries. I feel like my heart says the 49ers here, but I don't know. With a big injury that just happened last week. I don't know. I got a feeling that the Cowboys just pull this out, but it's going to be an ugly game.
Okay. So you got to say the Cowboys pulling it out. What do you think, Ken? Do they pull out?
The Cowboys are imploding. You got Dak Prescott and his receivers are fighting on the sidelines. Jerry Jones is firing radio host. Everybody just hates everybody in Dallas right now. They've had a bye week. I think that I'm going to take Dallas in this one also. I think they at least got enough done during the bye week to come back and play the 49ers, given what's going on there too. So I'm going to take the Cowboys here also.
Okay.
But
Doug?
I'm not going to start Dak Prescott in fantasy. I'm not that confident.
Not that confident. Okay. Doug?
I don't think Dallas has a defense at all. Do they even send guys out on the field?
Partially.
Two defense, partially.
3.
And Prescott. Some games he looks good. Some other games he's throwing the ball to the wrong jersey. I don't know. I think there's just too much chaos in Dallas right now. I'm going to take the 49ers.
49ers on Doug's pick. God, I'm going to take the Cowboys and the points. I think they're both a toilet bowl wreck right now, just because of injuries and everything and the infighting and all that stuff and everything back and forth. And I'm just going to play on the fact that I'm getting 4.5 points to start the game is the way I'm going to go with that one. Ken will start up with this one here, and it's the Giants. Look, the Steelers get another off week here. Steelers minus 5.5, 36.5. Somebody set up the schedule this year to just make it easier so the Steelers can win. Doug, what do you think?
There's your answer right there. Steelers points. They're going to take it. Heinz Field is not Heinz Field. What is it? Acusure Stadium now.
Acupuncture Stadium?
Yeah, Acupuncture Stadium. All of us locals still call it Heinz Field. It's a very difficult place to come in and play. Especially if the weather is going to be what they say it's going to be. It's going to be windy. It's going to be, the temperature is going to drop. So,
Will there be snow?
No, there will not be snow.
Oh, okay.
Not that cold, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take my Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. Doug's on the Steelers. Mr. Sanudo, where are you?
Well, the Giants looked terrible last week. If you watched them, I mean, they didn't even look like an NFL team last week. My favorite betting app has Steelers getting 6.5 points. So if you're giving me 5.5, I'm taking the Steelers. You know that point score looks tempting. I still would probably even take the under at 36.5 even.
I kind of like the under myself. I agree with you on that. I think it's a good call. All right, Justin, you're taking the Steelers. Where are we going, Mr. Ken?
It's funny. This past week when the Steelers played, my son and I were talking about this game, and we were like, Mike Tomlin, why is he taking Fields out and putting Russell Wilson in? Fields has played well, right? But then Russell Wilson played, and Russell Wilson was not the Russell Wilson of last year. He didn't have a blowout game by any means, but he played very, very well, made some incredible throws. I think that happens again this week, and now I know why Tomlin put him in. Who knows if he'll stay in? I guess he said he wants to see which quarterback gives him the best chance to win a Super Bowl. But Russell Wilson looked good for the first time playing in however long, since last year. So, yeah, give me the Steelers. And I still call it Heinz Field also. So give me the Steelers and Heinz Field.
There you go. Count on that. Here's the thing.
Come on, Pete.
First off, Russell Wilson threw a bunch of joke passes last week. I'm going to say that. He didn't throw accuracy passes. He threw nutter fluffers or flutter nuffers or whatever you want to call them up into the air and let guys try to catch them. Worked out to his advantage point that time. Regardless of that, though, the Steelers have been playing great football. You got to give them credit. They've been finding ways to win, and that's at the end of the day, while it's, again, to me, it's another free win playing these hopless Giants right now. For them, I think they easily win this game. That you only can play who shows up on the other side of the field. Now, so I think Tomlin's doing a great thing. I got to be honest with you, trying it now at this point in the season while they're still in a good spot and can afford to lose a game before they get into the heavy run. If you look at the run after this, I think it starts all three of the divisional games for them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a smart move there. Do I think the Steelers are a Super Bowl team? Defensively, yeah. Offensively, not yet. We'll see what happens. If Tomlin can make it work with him and then can interject Fields at different points, like for goal line stuff and different stuff like that, or for big opportunities for unique trick plays and stuff, yeah, that could be interesting. They could create some havoc because their defense, when J.J. Watt is healthy, their defense is sick. That guy's pretty good, isn't he, Doug?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it? What's his is his number 41? Is that his number?
The new kid?
No. What's his face's number?
I don't know who what's his face is.
Well, the guy we were just talking about.
What?
When?
here we go. He did this to me the other day on the phone.
I called him on the phone, right? And he goes, at the end of the conversations, he goes, man, I love J.J. Watt. He's going to be dominating. I said, who? He goes, Watt. I said, where? He goes, in the game. I was like, when? He goes, when they're playing. He's answering me. Finally, when I get to where? Finally I got to who or somebody. He's like, that's it. I'm done with this. So, it's good. I tried to get him to go. It was too hard to get him to go today. Oh. I want to thank all of my supporters coming in tonight and hanging out with us here. What all is going on for you guys? Ken, what do you got going up there in Green Bay? Anything going on with all your socials? What are you doing now?
Doing the same stuff on TikTok, trying to tackle hate and negativity in the world.
Nice.
Enjoying it. That's a broad statement, but that's what I do. Up in Wisconsin, La Nina is coming. It's supposed to be snowy this year, so should see some snowy football games coming November, December timeframe.
La Nina? Isn't that the name for a Spanish hooker? Who is that?
Well, it's also the name for a weather pattern that's going to make it snow more this year. So I'm
excited. Okay. La Nina is coming, Doug. Remember that. I'm going to call you when it's snowing.
Tina told me about that the other day.
The Spanish hooker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sanudo, what do you guys got going over there? Your Wednesday night show, Joyce Wednesday night show, is really good. It's a nice hangout and a lot of fun.
Yep, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., she's got her and her gang, and they're talking about the most overrated and underrated Halloween candy. So,
good.
Go pay attention to that.
She does a good job with game night, too. That's a lot of fun. So, yep. I love that. Mr. Doug, you're live tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock talking about El Nino. I love the name now. Now I'm stuck on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about El Nino.
Okay. Rename one of your squirrels that. Rename one of the squirrels.
She lives down the street.
Yeah, down the street. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got Coffee Talk back, and Scallywag Steve is back, and he'll be back, and we'll be showing some pictures from his Vegas trip.
Oh.
And then tomorrow night, I have the lovely Debbie Burnfield on Hump Day Hangout.
Oh, Debbie Burnfield. Nice. That'll be a good time. That'll be awesome. Did Steve go to the Bunny Ranch?
No, but he tried to find the Pinto Ranch.
Oh, God.
And he couldn't find it.
Only Steve. Only Steve. Wow.
They said it was bulldozed years ago.
We're going to be back to doing this show weekly now that baseball's kind of calmed down. You'll see all these guys back throughout the year. I try to continue to make the mix of all of our friends coming in here talking football and making the picks. We hopefully help you make some money. If one of the guys gets hot, jump on their picks and start making some money with your guys. That's a good thing. Justin's the underdog king on this channel. Last year, he picked more underdog winners than anybody else on the panel. So you just never know. Never know. I was looking at percentages today when I was putting the things together, and you were number one at picking underdogs last year out of everybody. Percentage.
I couldn't pick the overdogs. So.
No, you couldn't. Not the overdogs or any of those. So for that one. So thank you everybody for being here. We will see you next time. Doug, if you come in waving that towel again, I'm going to take my left foot off and mail it, and you can personally put it in your backside yourself. Okay, I'm just letting you know. We'll see you next time, everybody. What's tonight? Tonight is 9 o'clock. What night is this? This is Tuesday. Dad Builds will be live later tonight. That's the only one I can think of right now that'll be live. Or check out some of the West Coast friends. Doug is number one, according to the Curtis family, but he's using the different finger. So I don't know. Good night, everybody. We'll see you real soon.